Hello, buddy, and welcome back. We're going to talk about a little bit of series here. As probably all of you guys know, I walked away from FadeAway factions, and why I did that and how I did it is kind of a bit awkward. Well, it started out kind of the start of the map. Well, there was some issues with the server, and I kind of complained a little bit. Well, a little bit from this at the beginning, and then it kind of got a little bit worse and worse and worse, and all depending on how the server was going. And Chief was, of course, busy, and well, the server wasn't ready for release at all. I don't feel like it was ready at all, and that is kind of what got into my skin as well. Is that the server wasn't ready to release just yet. And when I talked to Chief about it, there was a lot of stuff that was wrong with the server, and I kind of explained it to him how it was and everything. He kind of said, "Well, it's not my fault. It was the developer's fault. He didn't do it right. I don't not getting any support from the developers. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault." And that kind of got into my skin a little bit. That he kind of took the responsibility away from him and saying, "Well, that's the dev's fault. It's not my fault." And that kind of got into my skin a little bit. And I know that he's doing a great job. He worked like 2 days straight on that server to make it up to what it is now. And it is a really nice server and everything. So I don't really want to talk bad about it. And I did enjoy helping him, and I helped him from the beginning. That's like a month behind, and that is kind of where we stand right now. And it got into my skin, like all the problems with the server, and I talked to Chief about it. So fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. And I know that's not a good thing to do. It's just wrong to do so, but it kind of got into my skin. It just got too much for me. It got too much, too many mistakes that I kind of got into my skin, and I'm ready to say sorry for that because it was too much. It really was, and that is also one of the reasons why I choose to leave the server in peace and not really in anger. But it all ended up with me getting banned for 2 seconds for complaining too much. And I want to talk a little bit about that because there was this raid event. No, not raid event, sorry, a PvP event, and it went kind of nice, and it was all fine, and we had a really good time as well. But then it kind of got a bit too much because in the kits there was no food. You get let me explain a little bit. You get a kit every time you have to run somebody in that event or tournament or whatever it is, and there was no food in that kit, and there was no fire resistance in that kit. So that basically mean that you had to the fight without fire resistance, and that's just wrong, man. That is just wrong. And then I talked about it, and then he says, well, he didn't really say much, to be honest. Like, he was more focused on getting the tournament started and get every single player in and fight and everything, instead of just fixing the food and the fireworks and start over again. It was only like one fight or two fights or something like that, where he kind of fucked up. But he chose not to, and the fight went on, and people complained to me. They didn't really do it in the chat that much, so it was kind of me taking the leader there, and like I didn't really care. Like, I could do slash feed. But it was right after Coffee defeated me in a 1v1. It kind of happened here, and we talked about a defeat problem here and the fire resistance problem, and that is just where it all began. So it kind of went up and down a little bit, and there was not really anything. Didn't really happen. The fight was just a complete disaster. The tournament was a complete disaster because it ended up with Faction Hawk and Coffee going in a 1v1, and then Coffee won, but Faction Hawk's Gabriel was on cooldown from the last map, and it doesn't really seem like anybody want to say, oh, okay, that's unfair. So I was the only one. So I was the only one sitting here alone and say, well, this is fucking unfair. Faction Hawk could just as much as won at the last guy. Like, I'm not saying Coffee is better, but at least give Coffee a chance to actually win it with pride or whatever. But that really didn't happen, and that kind of got into my skin even more, and that's where I just said, stop, this is going way too crazy. And I didn't really yell. I'm not the guy that gets angry on people for something like that. But I was kind of just being the annoying type, saying, well, at least it's not just as bad as the PvP tournament, and all that shit. So that's kind of why it stopped me and say that this is just enough now. I just can't handle it. So that's just a little bit about it. Like the server wasn't ready to release at all when he released it, and I even told him to stop, be ready before you release it. But it wasn't nowhere ready, and he worked really, really hard on creating the server and making it fun for everybody, but it just wasn't ready. It wasn't ready, and of course that's annoying, and you can't really change it because then you have to kick all the players out and all that. So you can't really change what you've already done. But you could definitely have taken other actions. Oh, that is gonna rip. But you definitely could have taken other actions, like saying, this is going to be fixed. Don't worry. Put it on the forums and say, this is going to be fixed. You don't have to worry about it. And that way, everybody will be able to like kind of get the information they need. Like, when is this gonna get fixed? Because this is really, really annoying. There was a point where people could use Obsidian Breaker inside. Like, if he was a recruit, he could use Obsidian Breaker to break Obsidian and get out of his vault and stuff like that. And that was also a huge issue as well. And the lightning enchant, I could kind of damage yourself, and there's a lot of issues that I'm not really want to talk about because I don't know if it's been fixed yet. I'm only going to talk about stuff I know that have been fixed yet, besides the lightning enchant, of course, that haven't been fixed yet. But it was kind of that, and I don't want to make any anger issues or anger on the FadeAway factions. I kind of enjoy FadeAway faction, I really did, and I would like to play it again sometimes when everything has cooled off here. But it kind of got too much for me. It got too much. There was too many stuff going on. There was too much stuff not being fixed, and I kind of said stop because I just couldn't handle it. And it's same with my channel here. Like, you see that I haven't uploaded an episode in a long time. That's because there was all these issues with the server that I kind of had to, like, you guys messaged me like, dude, can you fix this and blah blah blah, but I'm not really a staff on it. I didn't even have ARP or anything, so I couldn't really fix anything, and I kind of had to explain to you guys that I'm sorry, dude, I'm sorry, because I can't really fix it. I'll tell Chief about it. And that's kind of what got out of my skin as well, that you guys really enjoyed the server but couldn't really play it to the full because of what happened here. And it got under my skin, I must say. Like, I'm sorry that I was so, like, I don't know if I can call myself a dick or not, but I kinda complained way too much, and I'm sorry about that. But it got under my skin, it really did, and it was just too much at one point. It got too much for me, and I couldn't really do my YouTube as well as the series here on, and it really went all bad. So it's just better of me leaving the server instead of just start complaining all the time. But I'm not saying that you guys should quit the server at all. I think that you guys should continue playing on FadeAway, because it is a really nice server. But I'm sadly not gonna join you in the war on FadeAway factions. Sadly, but that is how it is. There's not really much to it. Oops. There's not really much to it besides you were not ready. The server wasn't ready enough, and I even told him that the server was not ready, and well, that's what happened. So, and he can't just the way he said that. Well, it's not my fault. It's the developer's fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Blah blah blah. And I'm not gonna be a dick and talk behind his back or anything. But it was just kind of it was kind of just about, like, you shouldn't say that it's developer's fault. It's not my fault. Everything is the owner's fault. Everything is the owner's fault. There's nothing there that can go in like that. But that's kind of how it is. I know it was fun at the start, guys. I really enjoyed playing with you guys, and that was really nice. But I'm gonna call this an end for FadeAway factions. And I hope that you guys still will enjoy playing FadeAway factions, even though I am not there. But I hope that you guys will keep playing, like, even though I'm not here. I don't know what happened to my faction. I heard that we got insidered again or something like that, but I don't know what happened. I gave leader to Sparks and just left in peace. But I think it's on time that all of you guys would know that I left the server instead of just only some of you, because some of you are still in my faction and still doing a lot of stuff for the faction. But that faction is not here anymore. I don't know who's gonna control it, but somebody will probably take it over. And I think that is it for me, FadeAway Faction 2. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed my series on there. But there's not gonna be any more series on there since I'm not really gonna play. But I think that is just about it. FadeAway Factions, I'm not gonna play on there anymore. Due to a lot of stuff missing and due to a lot of stuff bucking out, lacking, and no, not lacking. There was no lag. I wanna say that to Chief, like, great job of not making it lag and all that. But there was too many bugs. There was too many mistakes, and the developer that should have made the custom inchas were all fucked up, and the guy that gave us the faction plugin sponge issues and all that shit is fucked up. And like they all had their own server to see to, so they couldn't really help. So it was all like looking for a developer, and it got too much. It got under my skin, I must say. It was really, it was over the point where I could actually relax and just do my series and not worry about anything. It was kind of that from right to start when I did this. This is kind of. And I'm sorry about that, Chief. If you ever watch this video, I'm sorry about me complaining all the time, and I hope that you understand that everything got under my skin right there. Everything like the series here, I on FadeAway Factions, and the players keep messaging me like, why is this going on? Why is it doing this? What's going on? And I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have complained as much, but it got under my skin, and I didn't really think about it at that point, and it kind of got to where I complained all the time, and as she said, like, what do you have to complain about now, and all that, and that's just a point where we don't really want it to go to. So I think that is gonna be the end of FadeAway for me, and I hope that you guys still will play FadeAway, even though I'm not there. But I'm probably gonna do another faction series. Right now, I am in need of a faction on Archon right now, because the faction I'm in right now had a corner, but it doesn't really seem like that the people are gonna unclaim that corner. But let's just see how it goes. They're definitely not gonna unclaim, so I'm gonna need a faction, and I don't want to join a faction. I don't want to sound like a dickhead now, but I don't want to join a faction with 10 players. I don't want to join a faction that doesn't really have anything and don't know how to base build and stuff like that. But that is just about it. Like, I want to join a good faction, Darkon. Like, I don't mind joining against Russia or with Russia. I don't really have position I want to be on. I don't care if I'm with Russia or not Russia. I really don't care, and I just want to say that I want to test my cannons on there, and that's just about it. So I'm not gonna need mod or anything like that, unless you want me to help on the base and stuff like that. But that's just about it. And there's just a little bit why I quit FadeAway and why you should still play, of course. But that's just about it. I think that's just about it. My name is Dexter, and I'm out.